Jenn Coward has been living with obsessive-compulsive disorder and depression since she was 15. In the years since her diagnosis, Jenn has experienced the highs of successful treatment and the lows of debilitating relapses.
As a teenager, you're already experiencing a lot of change, a lot of things going on, and I remember just feeling like I couldn't tell anyone this. I couldn't let them know because I didn't understand myself what was wrong with me. I was lucky enough one day to confide in a friend who had been struggling with an eating disorder, and I just felt like she was someone safe, and I was telling her what I was doing, and she actually, I didn't know at the time, had obsessive-compulsive disorder, and she was the one who encouraged me to go home and look it up, read about it. And I remember that night reading about it, and I was just so relieved when I started reading this passage, like the symptoms and about the obsessive thoughts, the rituals, because all of a sudden it was just like I was reading my life in this book, and I just started crying because I was so relieved that it wasn't just me, that I wasn't just a strange person that has to do this thing, that was actually an illness that I was dealing with. So I was diagnosed in grade 10 and I got treatment, so I was doing well, and eventually I stopped treatment, but then when I went off medication, even under the supervision of my doctor, I started to notice that my symptoms were coming back in 2009, 2010, and by the end of 2010, I was struggling to the point where I couldn't get to work, and most days I couldn't leave my house, I couldn't do anything. I was trapped in obsessions and rituals 16 to 20 hours a day, and I didn't know what to do. I just knew I felt like I was trapped in a prison, and I didn't know how to get help.
Determined not to let her illnesses dictate her life, and not wanting others to suffer in isolation, as she had, Jenn chose to begin sharing her story publicly, speaking at high schools and colleges, and facilitating groups and conferences both locally and in the United States.
So I got the idea to do Stand Up to Stigma because I really wanted our community to get together and engage more in a conversation about mental health, mental illness. So I talked to a couple friends to kind of feel out the idea, what they thought, and I got a lot of really positive responses from people that wanted to volunteer to help, that thought it was a great idea, especially to just talk about some different mental illnesses. We had someone talk about schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and just a way to bring community together to support each other. And it just from just asking for a little bit of help, it really kind of blossomed into a lot of people volunteering, a lot of people wanting to help out because someone they knew was struggling with a mental illness, or they were struggling with a mental illness themselves.
As impressive as Jenn's recovery has been, it's what she has done with it that is truly inspiring. She has rebuilt her life and works tirelessly to inspire others to do the same. And in 2016, she was named one of Brockville's Strong, Smart, and Bold Women of the Year.
I'm not alone in this journey. A lot of people are going through it. People are going to be there for me, and that I just can't give up because I'm making all of this progress. I'm getting better, and because I'm getting better, I need to keep pushing on, even through all the, the trials and tribulations that you have with it.